Safari Africa, International Video Network, welcomes you on this journey to a land of unspoiled freshness.
To a place of harmony between animals, people, and nature in a balance unequaled in the world.
To adventure that awakens your senses to the brilliant sunrise on the Mara escarpment.
We'll embrace the heartland of the Samburu Plains and watch the ancient animal inhabitants go about their lives, unafraid of the human presence.
Join us for a Kenyan safari and discover the essence of Africa.
Eastern Africa is renowned for great game parks and game reserves. Kenya, in the heart of East Africa, offers the world's best. Our safari will include 4 top locations: the Amboseli Game Reserve to the south, Aberdare National Park, and Samburu-Isiolo Game Reserves, both north, and the Mara Game Reserve in the southwest area of Kenya. We will also take special trips to the island of Lamu and Lake Nakuru National Park with its fabulous pink flamingos.
Most visitors to Kenya arrive in Nairobi, the capital city. Nairobi is a busy metropolis full of first-class hotels, smart shops, and modern buildings. The impressive homes of the Law Courts and Kenyatta Center, an international meeting place, are but a few products of a stable government. The country achieved independence from the British in 1963, led by Jomo Kenyatta, a revered leader. His daughter, Margaret Kenyatta, is widely respected today. Since 1978, the government has been led by Daniel Arap Moi, and Kenya continues to be a safe land for visitors from around the world.
The Kenyan government has ensured that many parts of Kenya are also safe for the tremendous variety and abundance of wildlife. In fact, only 15 minutes from the center of Nairobi lies the 44 square miles of Nairobi National Park. A safari adventurer, anxious to sample the sights and sounds of the larger parks, will find a quick trip outside the city gratifying. Leaving Nairobi, the jumping-off point for most Kenyan safaris, we head for the Masai Mara Game Reserve, established by the Masai tribe. Some areas of this reserve are home to the traditional peoples of the land. Some of the central areas allow no human settlement at all. The Masai Mara joins the fabled Serengeti Plain as it crosses into neighboring Tanzania. Our first contact with Mara Game is this traffic jam, and guess who has the right of way?
There are lodges inside each game reserve, islands of comfort in the midst of expansive wilderness. This lodge overlooks the westward rolling savanna, home of the richest and most varied population of animals in the world. With cameras clutched in expectation, we make short van or jeep trips to experience the splendor.
vast open plains are populated with herds of wildebeest, zebra, gazelle, topi, and buffalo. Unnoticed in our van, we drive exceptionally close to these wild animals going about their quiet day. Topi are sleek members of the antelope family and abound in the Mara. You can spot the males by their larger size and larger horns. They fear thick brush where predators lurk and often follow the less fearful zebra. When approaching brush, the topi hang back until the zebras go ahead and confirm or allay their suspicion.
Zebras, which are very inquisitive, have been called horses with striped pajamas. They resemble horses only in form, lacking endurance and tiring quickly. These are common or Burchell zebras. They travel in family herds, protected by a single stallion. Young males join a bachelor herd at 2 years. Each year, 500,000 zebras migrate between Kenya and Tanzania to the south, in an age-old pattern following the good grazing of the plains grasslands.
The warthog, named for that wart-adorned face that only a mother could love, is quite skittish. They're very courageous when wounded, but generally peaceful. Thompson's gazelles, more affectionately known as Tommies, are naturally tame. They possess acute senses of sight, smell, and hearing. Nearby, a small impala herd whiles away the day.
Masai giraffes browse here, moving gracefully in their own deliberate way. The afternoon drifts slowly by, and a nap seems in order. However, a lookout is always watching for signs of danger. Their large and lovely eyes watch us carefully. Giraffes are peaceful animals, and we feel a sense of privilege at spending a few hours with the Earth's tallest creatures.
Gnus, also called wildebeest, are said to be the only animal put together by committee. These outdated-looking creatures are the most common of all East African antelopes. Zebra herds often graze with gnus, preceding them during migrations. The Mara is famous for the yearly migration of 2 million gnus, moving to and from the celebrated Serengeti Plains. The month of May signals the start of their great trek. These creatures are on the move, often in a very playful manner.
After a rewarding morning photo quest, lunch and resting by the lodge pool are a favorite interlude. Here we take time to contemplate and savor immense vistas of earth and sky.
The Masai tribe is prominent in Kenya today. These are proud, independent people who choose to maintain their traditional lifestyle. Masai live in villages called manyatas, and their wealth is measured by the number of cattle they own. Their staple food is saroi, made of milk mixed with cattle blood. Famous worldwide are the Masai warriors, the Moran. They kill few animals, living alongside the ever-present wildlife in mutual tolerance.
On safari, people must stay inside their vehicles at all times. Panthero Leo, king of beasts, or in Swahili, Simba, known to us as the lion. The thrill of first meeting a big cat proclaiming dominion over his territory is unforgettable. So is the pleasure of first spotting their tawny bodies in the grass. We're driving only yards away from cubs at play and a pride at rest in its home. Females and immature lions are the pride's star hunters. They hunt mainly at night by sight and sound. Crouching low, lions approach their prey slowly with great patience, springing swiftly to make the kill. Males eat first, then females, and finally the immature cubs. If food is scarce, the cubs starve to death, ensuring survival of the species, because the lions will not outgrow their food supply. Family lines of authority are well respected. The pride's regal king tolerates no challenge to his superiority.
Leaving the Mara, we travel south of Nairobi to the Amboseli Game Reserve. The Amboseli Game Reserve is dominated by Mount Kilimanjaro, just below the Tanzanian border. Within the 1,200 square miles of the vast park sits Amboseli Lodge, a luxury site set in beautiful acacia-shaded grounds. The wildlife is close by, and some come right up to the lodge to visit. Leaving the lodge behind, we travel the Amboseli Plains, a wide lake bed with no traces of ancient peoples, no ruins of cities or temples, no overgrown roads, no tombs or burial grounds, no traces of generations of people who lived and died here. harrier-sized, bat-eared fox ends the notion of emptiness. Resting by his small burrow, he waits out the noonday sun. Dust devils swirl across the old lake bed during the dry season.
Here, we enter a scene of domestic tranquility. Elephants are loving mothers, suckling their calves for 3 to 4 years. Calves learn survival skills through imitation. Short grass is pulled from the earth by holding the strands firmly with the trunk and kicking the roots free. This baby attempts to copy mom. Like youngsters everywhere, the kids prefer an afternoon romp and play their favorite game. Late into the evening, this herd grazes on in the shadow of Kilimanjaro. The Amboseli marshlands are an ornithologist's paradise, with over 1,000 species recorded here. Many of the large birds can be easily observed any time of the year, but most breed and display their plumage during March, April, and May. This Amboseli marsh is a perfect setting to spot the birds. These are African spoonbills. Crowned cranes. A gray heron. The pink-backed pelican. And the sacred ibis. This is a saddle-bill stork. An African hoopoe. Cory bustards. A long-tailed cormorant. The pied kingfisher. A lilac-breasted roller. A juvenile black-headed heron. And the African fish eagle.
Vervet monkeys pause in their daily travels, often seen in large groups of 20 or more. Grooming is an important part of the social life enjoyed by adults and young. Most female vervets are devoted mothers, fondling and caressing the young of their neighbors. Most visitors to Kenya can expect a visit from the bold vervets. They become accustomed to humans quickly and have a very inquisitive nature.
Heading north, our destination is a coffee plantation, just 40 miles outside of Nairobi. This farm, or shamba, is cooperatively owned and operated. Like grapes, the coffee plants mature within 3 to 4 years, bearing beans during a 20-year lifespan. The beans don't mature all at once, and pickers look for the mature red beans. They're called cherries, and the beans will mature over a 3-month period. Kenya coffee is a medium-body, rich coffee with good acid and a bright flavor. The beans are trucked to the cooperative Shamba Center. Here, everyone helps prepare the beans for milling. First, all dirt is carefully washed away. Then they dry a week in the sun. The red berries turn a greenish gray when dry. Their next step is the mill, where the green cover is buffed off and the beans are roasted. Kenya produces one of the world's finest coffees. Aberdare National Park is only a day's ride north of Nairobi. The Kenya government established the national park system to ensure complete protection of wildlife. No human may live in the parks or use the land in any way, and protection of the animals is always the priority. Here to enjoy are the Aberdare Mountains, clear streams, lush forest, and magnificent banyan trees.
Lodges are located just outside the park. They provide ideal centers for exploring the Aberdares and surrounding countryside.
Our first morning out in Aberdare's early morning fog leads us to the world's oldest matriarchy and largest living land animals. Elephants live up to 80 years, weigh up to 12,000 pounds, and stand 9 to 12 feet tall. Maintaining their great bulk requires eating large volumes of forest and grass. Their herds are usually family, mostly mothers, aunts, sisters, and youngsters, with perhaps a bull nearby. We find the elephants' affection for their young and sense of humor appealing.
Appearing harmless as cattle, a group of Cape buffalo is out in the misty forest morning. Normally peaceful and rather shy when undisturbed, this is actually the meanest and most dangerous beast of the bush. Their aura of confidence is well-founded. Unpredictable, with tough horns, they can spell trouble for the careless tourist who leaves the van's safety. Yet there is something superb in these regal and powerful beasts.
Meanwhile, the elephants are working on bathing with both water and dust. generally peaceful by nature, elephants are potentially dangerous when provoked. Horizontal tusks and ears held out and upright are signs of an imminent charge.
A famous Aberdare lodge in the midst of lush forest is the Ark. When darkness falls, the adjoining waterhole is lit against the dark night. Warmed with blankets and hot water bottles, we observe a nightly procession. The forest yields again as they step into the lighted pools to drink and seek the salt lick. A private dispute unfolds in an ancient drama.
Heading north now, we cross the Earth's equator. Our destination is the great Samburu-Isiolo Game Reserve. Here, on the banks of the Wasanyiro River, we're once again assured of safety and comfort in the midst of wilderness. The Samburu tribe entertains with a true African welcome. They are closely related to the Masai. To these men, becoming a warrior is the essence of life. They celebrate often with ceremonies, banquets, sacrifices, and dances. Here at the Samburu, we find Grevy's zebra, which prefer light woods and thorny scrub. These zebras are found only here in this semi-arid region. They differ from the common zebra, having narrower stripes, a heavier build, and large round ears, which are ringed with a fringe of hair.
Further down in the woods stands the most graceful of all antelopes, the impala. The impala sultan stands guard over his harem of gentle and nervous ewes. They're followed by a bachelor herd, each waiting for his chance to take the reigning sultan's place. Afternoon amusement comes in the form of sociable baboons who have paused to eat. Baboons live by a rigid social order which is seldom maintained by force. However peaceful and harmless animals may look when not aware of our presence, their alarmed reaction at a personal appearance may be startling, and they could become dangerous. These are completely wild animals whose very existence depends upon their self-protective instincts.
Fringe-eared oryx prefer thorny, dense bush areas. They wander in herds of up to 35 individuals and are very shy of visitors. Gerenux are often called giraffe gazelles because of their long necks. Reticulated giraffes are browsing in their favorite food, thorny acacia trees. Their patches distinguish them from the Masai giraffe. The chestnut patches are separated by narrow cream lines and are clearly defined.
The Wasiniro River runs steadily next to Samburu River Lodge. Visitors stay well back from the banks, where prehistoric surprises await the passerby. That powerful tail can knock over a large animal with one sweep, and the jaws possess tremendous strength. This crocodile, fed by lodge employees, provides a menacing show almost daily. Night sets on his meal, and we'll remember this evening well.
For a refreshing break between safaris, we travel to Kenya's seashore. Just off the coast lies the island of Lamu, reached only by sea. The town dates back to the 14th century. Bicycles and cars are not allowed on the island. In fact, the only car is owned by the police chief. Along the waterfront, large white houses dominate a wide walkway. Once a sultanate, the population is mostly of Arab extraction and follows the religion of Islam. A small marketplace is the main shopping area. The maze of narrow, twisting streets have changed little in hundreds of years. Interesting walks reveal carved doors, tall, narrow buildings, cool mosques, and secret courtyards. Lamu has several first-class hotels, modest pensions, and magnificent swimming. It is one of the most refreshing and restful places on the East African coast. "97 miles from Nairobi is Lake Nakuru National Park,
a safe refuge for hundreds of thousands of flamingos. This alkaline lake has no outlet and an extremely high salt content, ideal for growing algae. The flamingos thrive on this algae, and Lake Nakuru is a favorite haunt. When the largest population of flamingos is present, they consume up to 150 tons of algae per day. When present in large numbers, they are breathtaking. The greater flamingo is about 5 feet high, with bright red on its wings, but otherwise a very pale pink. The lesser flamingo is 3 to 4 feet high, a much redder bird with a carmine-colored beak. Pelicans, spoonbills, and avocets abound in the lake. Altogether, about 400 species of birds have been recorded in the vicinity of Lake Nakuru.
We return to the rolling plains of the Masai Mara. Some lodgings are actually camps with luxury tents for guests, complete with showers. This camp, Kichwa Timbo, is close to the Mara River. To the ancient Greeks, they were known as river horses. They are Kenya's endearing, multi-ton water ballet artists. Not many safari goers can resist those bulging nostrils, bulging eyes, and tiny pink ears. Living an average of 40 years, hippos spend most days submerged in water. At night, they emerge from their watery homes to graze on surrounding grass. At dawn, it's back to the bath. These hippos appear to be sedate. But they are dangerous animals whose jaws can easily crush a person. And so, from a safe distance, we watch the hippos ebb and flow along with the Mara River.
common spotted hyenas have sloping backs and a peculiar gait. They scavenge on the kills of the big cats and upon animals which have died from natural causes. They will hunt living animals when hungry, but don't always kill the animal before eating it. Hyenas have the most powerful jaws of all mammals. They get at the bone marrow by crunching, then swallow and digest the bones. Their wistful eyes, set in powerful faces, create a half-tragic, half-comic expression. Like a squat gray battleship moving through tall grasslands, the rhino browses the afternoon away. His gray horn is actually a mass of keratin, with no bony core or attachment to the skull, like real horns. Oxpeckers or tick birds ride the rhino, picking off parasites and warning their huge friend of intruders. Rhinos appear gray from rolling in dust, but are actually black. They have a reputation for bad temper and charging without warning, but are even-tempered and charge only when provoked. They bear calves only once every 3 years and are hunted for their horns. Some cultures consider the horns an aphrodisiac, fetching a price greater than gold. As a result, rhinos are in danger of extinction.
Further down the plains, all is not so quiet and peaceful. It's lunchtime for the vultures, and every bird who finds something to eat, eats. They appear as grotesque gluttons at a carcass, but in flight, with their tails fanned and wingtips spread, vultures display grace and beauty. Vultures aren't the only busy group. Here, we find this king of beasts in an uproar.
From hot air balloons, we see a different view of this great land. Rising with flaming blasts from the burners, we soar over the plains at 5 miles per hour. We cruise above the treetops as gnus, topi, and impala watch from the plains below.
A breakfast celebration marks our journey's end. We toast our safari adventure with champagne and dine in the Mara Plains. We will soon leave Kenya behind and take home memories of a distant land of adventure and beauty. We will take home memories of the Masai Mara zebra, topi and wildebeest herds, tall giraffes, and the noble lion.
Memories of majestic Mount Kilimanjaro, elephants in the morning mist, and midnight dramas of the Aberdare forest.
Memories of dances in the Samburu Game Reserve and wary zebras, graceful impala, roving baboons, and a menacing crocodile.
Memories of the island town of Lamu, delicate flamingos gracing Lake Nakuru, and Mara's snorting hippos, solitary rhinos, and squawking vultures.
We'll treasure forever the unparalleled abundance of wildlife protected in Kenya. And now that we have broken free from the everyday world and experienced a Kenyan safari, we'll never forget the essence of Africa.